How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I'm sorry the video took a little bit to get out. That's mainly because I had a 3-hour download. My wife and I are both using our computers, and my Xbox also has a download, so it's taking a little bit of time to get everything up and running. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new character. If you enjoy, like, sub. If you run into anything new about the character that I haven't already talked about, please let me know, because it's always interesting to have some new ideas. And let's get right on into it. So just going down the typical move list. I know some people prefer me to go down the move list when I've made guides before, so we'll go ahead and go down the standard move list. So he is a 2-swing type of character here, where you have 2 lights. The second one is undodgeable. Same with the heavy attack is also undodgeable. Obviously this goes for any finisher. His light or heavy is going to be undodgeable. We also have a forward kick that will guarantee a light attack if you do them in succession. His zone also leads to multiple attacks, similar to Warden, where you can go straight into your chains. And it also will go into his bash, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Whoops. So, going down the list here, his running attack is just I believe it's left side. It's left side. It is a chain starter, by the way. He also has the dodge attacks, although I don't really recommend these. They're basically Orochi style. They look very easy to parry. As you can see, 15 damage on a side, 20 damage from the top, and they are also chain starters as well. I would recommend only doing them if you have a very good read, though, because they look like they're going to be pretty easy to parry. As you can see here, we have the bash, which guarantees a light attack. Now this can go off his zone, one of these, basically any opener that you start with, whether if you do an option select, you can then do it immediately after and then start something. Now note, it does say it guarantees a light, but that does not mean that you can't go for a heavy if you'd like. You can still go for a heavy if you have a read on it, but it does guarantee a light attack if you're just going to be safe. Next up, we have the K's stance. This is the stance. Now, the first one would be light attack. Unfortunately, he has his guard in the position I don't want. Alright, so light attack will come from the right side. If you go for a heavy attack, it is an unblockable that goes from the top. If you click zone, you will have a left attack, which again will lead into everything else. And if you see the stamina depletion, it's not too bad. I can show better as to what the stamina depletion will be. So it's not too bad. Heavy attack, stamina depletion there. Obviously, he's going to be blocking that side. Let's see if I can just get him to hit the back wall. Light attack looks like it'll take a little bit more. Alright. Moving on down the list. So, keep in mind, light attack, right. The unblockable is a top attack, which can be feinted. And then the zone is a left swinging attack. Now, after you land any of these, you can do the Fujin cuts. So you just basically hit light attack 3 times. There you go. So you have 1, 1, and then 8 damage as your finisher. So keep in mind this is 10 damage. And that goes for anything that you land. Any one of these that land, you can do this. Next up, we have the Fujin Force, which is a undodgeable heavy attack that will come out of the right-hand side. So this can be done after landing any of these as well. Although we'll get into other ways that you can use this. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do it now. It technically will tell us in a sec, but we'll just go ahead and do it now. So, if you land any of these, you can do 2 attacks that are the guaranteed and then into the heavy attack, though it is not guaranteed. It's just a form of a mix-up. I can't quite remember how much damage it does, so let's go ahead and get him to do something again. Can you not block? Alright, so it will do 12 damage. Now, the reason that you may want to use this, I'll get into in just a moment. As for just like, you know, the hero specific stuff, as you can see here, he does have superior block, so he does have crushing counters, which is always good. 17 damage, so it's not as crazy as like BP or Warlord, but 17 damage is still a good starter. So don't forget you do have crushing counters, which is basically always makes a character pretty good. The chain starters, like I mentioned, we have the superior guard stance. You cannot guard break or counter guard break. That's with, you know, almost all the stances. Although here we have recovery cancel. Now, the way you can use the recovery cancel here, forgot that I had you set to attack. The recovery cancel essentially means that if I were to do something like this, I can go immediately into the stance. If I do a heavy attack, I can go immediately into the stance. If I do heavy bash for whatever reason, you can go into unblockable stance. If you do a zone into a light, you can go straight into the unblockable. Now, the only time that you cannot go into the stance is if you do the finisher here. You cannot go into stance here, but you can go into stance if you do the heavy attack. And that's the moments that you'd want to use the heavy attack, is because you can go into the stance and then keep your offense flowing, as you can see. Next up, I mean, that's most of what he's going to be able to do. You can cancel the top heavy, which it says here. Blocking an attack with the stance will guarantee any of the follow-up attacks, which means I can demonstrate that, and this just points out what I already said, which is the first and second hit guarantees it. Now, what it means is if you're in the stance and you counterattack and attack, any of these are guaranteed. So, as you can see, the light attack will do 8 damage, the heavy attack does 10 damage. It's just a matter of timing. If you have slower timing, obviously, if you're too late on this, they can parry it. Like that, you see his guard did come back up, so you want to be relatively quick. So if you have bad reaction time and you can't quite tell, you could go for the light attack. It's only 2 damage that you're missing. And keep in mind, if you ever do land this, you can go for the heavy straight back into your offense. And you can go straight back into whatever you want to do there. All in all, this character seems like he's going to have a lot of spammable potential. He definitely looks like he's doing pretty good. Now, as far as parries go, obviously you're guaranteed a light. If you get the crushing counter at 17 into your offense. Heavy attack damage. I haven't checked whether the heavy attack is going to do more or less on certain sides. So it's 24 on the top, 24 on the side. So you should do about the same. Finisher's 30. I assume top finisher be 30 as well. It is. Alright. Now, what if your opponent is out of stamina? Toss him to the side. You definitely get a light heavy. However, you cannot get a heavy. You can get a zone into heavy, which is it's only 14 damage over the 12. Now, as far as what you can get on a parry and then a punish, I'm not 100% sure what you're going to be able to get on a parry punish. Or just on like a normal throw here. So one thing you could do, if you're trying to do a mix-up and the opponent's out of stamina, you can obviously go for something like this. See if they go for the parry. Also, when you toss them, you could go for... and then leads into everything else. Now, keep in mind, you cannot feint that heavy right there. It is parryable. You can't feint it. I'm mashing it, you cannot feint it. So, do be careful when using it. But all in all, just taking a look at the characters so far, I gotta say, this character is going to be pretty strong. I mean, they got the crush encounters, they have the mix-ups, they have the all-guard. The zone doesn't take nearly as much as you would assume it would take from a normal character. Like, as you can see, you can get 3 zones off, so it's not like a Warden 2 zones, you're completely done. And obviously, like I pointed out, if you're in the stance, it's not the same attack, it's not the same type of zone, but, you know, you can let this fly an awful lot. But let me know if you guys found anything really cool down below. Let me know if you have found out the max punish. Like I said, I just got the character downloaded, so I just got to take a look at the character, and I decided to do a quick guide for you guys that are jumping straight into it. But unfortunately, like I said, it took a couple hours to download, so I'm a little bit behind. I will start playing with the character, and if I run into anything new, I will let you guys know. But this is basically just your day 1 guide. Hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be playing on PC, console, and see how different crowds handle him, basically. I'm curious how he'll do on console, or if he'll be insane on console, and I'm curious to how he'll be on PC. Regardless, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.